Hi, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Tuesday Talks, where I'm talking about your business seasons beyond the calendar. Yes, we're not talking about calendar seasons. Before we get started, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it because it helps to get the message out there to a wider audience. It means a lot. Now, we're taught to run our business by the calendar. You've probably heard all of this. We've got quarter one, quarter two. We've got to launch in September or launch in whenever we feel like it, but slow down in December or maybe slow down in the winter, depending on where we are in the world. Oh, I had to take a breath there. Remember, that's what we're taught. Even calendar seasons doesn't mean the same thing everywhere. As I said, when it's summer in Australia, the rest of the world is in winter. So why would your internal rhythm follow someone else's timeline? There are seasons inside of you, inside of your business. Expansion, visibility, creation, retreat. And they don't always match the month that's on the wall or on your phone or whatever. Whatever month you're in, they may not actually match. And this is extremely important to understand. Today, I'm going to talk about working with your personal rhythm instead of fighting it. Because when you ignore your internal season, business can start to feel forced. And I needed to learn this myself because when I started, I went by the calendar, like the 12-month calendar, the year. And I'm like, why are things not, going so well for me? Like at the moment, I'm studying, which means my business, not all of it, like the podcast is still getting out there and there's still a few posts going out, but I've scaled that right back. It is scaled right back because this feels right for me. I'm listening to my internal voice. And you have internal seasons. Your energy is cycles, not linear. Some months feel like a bright Australian summer, and yes, I'm in Australia, outward, expansive, or even bold. Others feel like a quiet winter, reflective, slower, focused inward. Both of these are really productive, just different. Just have a think about that. Creativity, visibility, strategy, and restoration don't peak at the same time. Expecting yourself to perform at summer level year round creates fiction. Creates fiction? Creates friction. Oh, I love it when words don't come out right. Ignoring your internal rhythm leads to self-criticism. And have I done this? I still occasionally do it. I'm honest. I'm not perfect. I mean, I'm perfect in every moment. I still have things happen like this. You might label yourself as inconsistent when you're actually seasonal. And these seasons, it's not a weakness, it's a design. Thing is, though, most entrepreneurs only recognize one type of season, the visible one. You've got to be there all the time. You've got to be posting 20 times a day. You've got to be doing this. You've got to be doing that, blah, blah, blah. What if you listen to yourself? So let's just have a look at two seasons. How do you recognize your personal summer? This is when you feel extremely orientated. You're clear, you're bold, you're ready to be seen. Launching, pitching, selling, and leading feels energizing instead of draining. Decisions feel quicker. Visibility feels expansive rather than exposing. And there's momentum without force. This is the time to initiate, scale, collaborate, and take strategic risks because your system has capacity. Summer isn't about the temperature outside, it's about internal expansion. And just like in Australia or wherever you are in the world, summer doesn't last forever, and it isn't supposed to. Now let's have a look at winter. Winter is not failure, it's consolidation. You may feel less visible, more reflective. more administrative. This doesn't mean that you're regressing. This is where the systems get refined, finances get organized, other offers get tightened, and strategy becomes cleaner. Creativity often goes underground here sometimes, not always, like I'm just saying what could happen. It looks quieter, but it's integrating and strengthening beneath the surface. Now, sometimes my winter is, my winter, my creativity is stronger when I'm resting because I'm listening to the voices, I'm allowing them to have their say, and then suddenly things will come through. Doesn't mean that I'm actually going to take action on it right now. The action I take is write things down, or I might draw or something. And then when I start feeling more energized, then that's when I can take action. And winter protects longevity. It restores instead of depletes. Now, the problem isn't having seasons, it's resisting the one you're in because the market says you should be in summer. Mm. Now, I just talked about two because, of course, there's spring and autumn or fall, I think they call it somewhere else. You can have a look into them. I didn't want this podcast to go on forever. What is the cost of forcing the wrong season? Launching during personal winter often feels heavy or reactive. You might have been told, okay, you've got this 6 weeks to launch and then we've got to do this. And okay, doesn't matter if it's winter, you got to do it, you got to do it, you got to do it. Well, guess what? Listen to your own intuition. And you push because you think you're behind or your coach says you've got to do it, not because you're ready. Retreating during a personal summer creates frustration. Energy that wants to move gets suppressed. And when you override your rhythm repeatedly, exhaustion follows. Not because you're incapable. That's definitely not true at all. It's because you're misaligned with your current capacity. You're misaligned with what is happening internally. Structure matters, but structure without self-awareness becomes a strain. How do we work with rhythm without becoming inconsistent, you might be asking? I heard you. Let's have a look at leading your business through this beautiful rhythm. Track your energy patterns over months, not days. Make sure you do track it during the day, like I, quite a few years ago now, which is why I love talking about this, is I, for a whole week, tracked my energy every hour. What had I eaten? What was I doing? What was I feeling? What was my business feeling? Did my energy feel extremely high? But at the same time, I wasn't just feeling it like mentally or energetically. Like there can be people think that when your energy is really high, then of course everything else is really high. That doesn't always mean it can be like that. It doesn't mean that. There are times where my energy was really high, but because my thoughts and everything were running away with me, there was this energy. And I'm like, but I know I've got heaps of energy, but I don't want to really do anything. So that happens. People don't think it does, but it does. So notice when you naturally crave visibility versus when you crave refinement. And you've got to then discover your own energy, your own seasons and everything. And plan your big moves around your internal summer where possible, not just around that calendar. Because this is you and this is your business. You're going to get coaches, as I've said, that will tell you what to do. Listen to yourself. Your intuition is so important. And I've just done an episode about listening to your intuition. So I'll make sure I link that in the links. And I want you to normalize both states. Your quiet seasons are not a problem to fix. They are part of the operating system. Whether you're a Windows or a Apple, doesn't matter. There's so many debates around those two, isn't there? Now, working with rhythm doesn't mean abandoning discipline. It means aligning discipline with capacity. And yes, we do need discipline in business. That's part of it. No matter And I'm going to upset people here. I don't care. No matter what you label yourself as, and it is a label, discipline is still needed. If you want to run a business that is profitable, you need structure. You need discipline. Now, my discipline is different every day. My structure is different every day. So every single day, things look differently because I have found what my energy is, what my seasons are. And that's why your business does not need to look the same in every month of the year. There's going to be seasons where you're visible, magnetic, and expansive, like a bright Australian summer. And we do have great summers here. And there'll be seasons where you're refining, restoring, and building quietly like winter. Neither is more productive. They serve different purposes. And when you stop fighting the internal timing, you stop interpreting every dip as a failure. You begin to trust your rhythm. And when you trust your rhythm, your business feels steadier because you're no longer working against yourself. And how cool is that? Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I'll see you on the next episode.